بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Respected brothers and sisters, all praise belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us another day in our life. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to make this day as a source of khair for us, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us and our a'mal on this day to be wasted. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. As we were continuing towards the hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding certain things that Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, he was shown by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the effects of certain actions in the life of individual. That when you do certain things to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how these a'mal become the source and the means of your protection from the horrors of the hereafter. Because when an individual will be resurrected in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, every amal that you have done in this dunya, this amal will come and protect you. And this amal will be the means of protection of this individual and will save him from many of the difficulties and many of the situations. And these a'mal are also the means of saving an individual from the situations of this world. And Rasul alayhi salat, because these are things that are hidden, we don't know. So the only information we get is what the Prophet alayhi salatu was salam or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala exposed to us. Because everything that has to do with a'mal, good deeds, reward, these are from ilmul ghaib. These are all from the ilm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we have been told to fulfill and to obey on the basis of submission to Allah and believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But sometimes Allah's Rasul alayhi salatu wassalam will show and will tell the Sahaba regarding the effects of certain actions for encouragement. So a person, he is able to do those actions and make a habit of those actions so they become a source of protection for him. So we started with this hadith. Rasul alayhi salatu wassalam mentioned about two things. Number one was about the malakul maut. إني رأيت البارحة عجبا رأيت رجلا من أمتي أتاه الملك الموت. That I saw a very strange and unique thing last night, that I saw an individual from my ummah. He was about to, the malakul maut was about to come and take his ruh. But his kindness towards his parents came and protected this individual and expanded his life and his rizq with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second individual was that person, وَرَأَيْتُ رَجُلًا مِّنْ أُمَّتِي. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that I saw a person from my ummah, قَدْ بُسِطَ عَلَيْهِ عَذَابُ الْقَبْرِ. The adhab al-qabr was, the punishment of the grave was open in front of him. فَجَاءَ صَلَاتُهُ. His salah came and فَجَاءَ وُضُوءُهُ. His wudu came and protected this individual. Now the next, وَرَأَيْتُ رَجُلًا مِّنْ أُمَّتِي قَدْ احْتَوْشَتْهُ الشَّيَاطِينَ. I saw a person from my ummah that he was gripped by shaitan. And everywhere, whatever he would do, shaitan would be involved in his action. فَجَاءَهُ ذِكْرُ اللَّهِ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى. His remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal came and protected him from the deception of shaitan. So remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal takes a person out from ghafla. A person who is constantly in the remembrance of Allah, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, his example is like a person who is alive. And a person who does not remember Allah Azza wa Jal, then this individual is like that person whose heart is not alive. His heart is dead. He's like a dead person. There is no benefit inside him. You know, when you have a person who passed away, no matter how much talents he has, at the end of the day, he's no benefit to you. Why? Because none of his talents can be used now. He's dead. Similarly, a believer who is constantly in the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he develops khair inside and he becomes the means of bringing khair in the life of other individuals. When a person, he is not in the remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal, there is la khayra fihi. There is no khair in this individual. So this is why, how to bring that remembrance of Allah throughout our day, this is what Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam has given the entire sections of dua from morning till evening. Every single thing we do throughout the entire day, there is a dua for it. Going to the bathroom, coming out, making wudu after wudu, eating after eating, going into your car, coming out of your car, traveling, going into the market, coming out of the market, going to your work. All of these things that you do, an individual does throughout the entire day, Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam has taught us a dua. So when we practice those du'as in our life, a lot of times the brothers say, oh, too many du'as, I cannot remember all of them. Right? Too many du'as, I cannot remember all of them. Of course, it's difficult. But at the end of the day, you don't have to memorize all the du'a for each action. Even one du'a is sufficient. For example, you memorize one du'a for sleeping, one du'a for the morning, one du'a for the evening, one du'a for each. There are multiple du'as for one action. So if you cannot memorize all of them, memorize one. At least you will be part of those who are ذَاكِرِينَ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا وَالذَّاكِرَاتِ, those who remember Allah in abundance. And then Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, وَرَأَيْتُ رَجُلًا مِّنْ أُمَّتِي وَرَأَيْتُ رَجُلًا مِّنْ أُمَّتِي يَلْهَثُ عَطَشًا. I saw a person from my ummah, he was hopping with thirst. He was hopping with thirst, a lot of thirst. And no matter on the day of judgment where he goes, he's not able to fulfill his thirst. فَجَاءَهُ صَوْمُهُ. His fasting came and fulfilled his entire thirst, فَآوَاهُ, and gave him contentment. So fasting is a source of protection, not only in this day, not in dunya, but also in akhirah. Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, as-sawmu junnatun, that fasting is a shield, and it will protect you from the disobedience of Allah in this dunya, and it will also protect you from the horrors of the hereafter. We ask Allah to grant us the understanding, and we ask Allah Azza wa Jal to give us the ability to establish these good a'mal into our life so we can be protected. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Jazakum Allahu khairan. Subhanallah wa bihamdihi. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik. Wa nashhadu an la